which I think was last year, or it was the beginning of this year, that we just received a Diamond Award for 10 million units sold in the U.S. The album has actually sold, I think, 18 million worldwide, and that's one album. And it's easy for us to look back on that now and say, oh, that was a success. It was always going to be a success from the first note, blah, blah, blah. You know, you can always look back and go like, oh, yeah. You listen to that song, like, obviously that's a hit song. I'm sorry, when we were sitting in our rehearsal studio, and I was spending 48 hours at a time there without leaving, that was not a hit song. That was something I was working on, and we were probably going to be signed because we were talking to somebody who was interested. And I was at a rehearsal studio on Hollywood and Vine with drug addicts and prostitutes in the alley. And the song I was writing, I thought was good. That was it. And when you're at that step and you believe in it, you take it to the next step and somebody says, why don't you change this? We had a guy at our record label who literally said he wanted me to play keyboards in the band and not rap.
Obviously, you took his advice.
That right there, it should have been a non-starter. It should have been like, okay, you're the wrong guy, we're out of here, blah, blah, blah. We wasted months of our time, of our lives, of our careers, humoring this guy and trying things out. We tried songs without rapping. You know, I tried to do my thing a different way. The song, in the end, I did like probably 5 different treatments of my own vocal on that just because he hated my rapping. And we ended up saying, you know what? You don't get it. And if you don't get it, I'm sorry you don't get it, but you can shelf us, you can drop us, you can do whatever it is you're going to do, but this is our song, that's the way it's going to be. And if anybody else feels the same way, if the people at the label feel the same way you do, then there's no argument. If the people feel the same way we do, there's no argument either. That's how we're going to roll with this. And it ended up, I mean, lucky for us, we can tell the story and say, we were right, he was wrong.
That's
but
right.
Either way it goes, you stuck to your guns, you were thoughtful about it, and at the end of the day, you're going to be happy with however it turns out because you were, you thought about it.
So,
can I add something to that?
Yeah, I just want to let people know, I'm going to open it up to questions after one final one. So if you do have one, feel free to line up the microphone over here and just start thinking about one. So, yeah.
So this is really, really important. Some people may know this, some may not, but the 4-hour work week was turned down by 13 out of 14, 14 out of 15 publishers. And it was initially...
What was the original title?
I don't have time to explain why, but the original title was Drug Dealing for Fun and Profit, which was a tongue-in-cheek reference to the guest lectures I give at Princeton University. I thought it was very funny and very clever. Walmart didn't think it was so funny and very clever. When I tested the book cover, well, I tested the title and subtitle, I'll just explain briefly, on Google AdWords. I just created ads based on keywords that were related to subject matter, world travel, retirement, etc. And then with about $150 in 7 days, knew the best combination of respective titles and subtitles. And I took that data back. There were many standard deviations. And it was obvious I was by far had the best click-through of any combination of titles. And then I took the potential cover, actually printed it out, went to a Borders in Palo Alto, California, put it on one of the same size books on the new arrivals rack and watched with different covers to see how many people picked it up. Sample size, probably not very statistically significant, but I needed the numbers. But to come back to taking the numbers too far, and this is related to, so number one, I was rejected a lot. And I was given some very harsh feedback, I mean, violently turned down in some cases. And a piece of advice I was given by someone much more experienced than myself in writing at one point was, it doesn't matter how many people don't get it. It matters how many people get it. So if you have 100 people say, I don't get it, no, it doesn't make any sense, it's not going to work, it doesn't matter. Like, it matters how many people will get it. And secondly is a piece of advice that I read recently from Mark Cuban, which I thought, I guess spoke to this last year, which was write what you're passionate about, not what you think the readers want to read. Okay, I'll let that sink in a second, because loving the numbers as much as I do, I'll poll people, and I've done this on my blog before, which do you most want to read? And I'll have 5 different post topics, and then I'll write about the most popular. And then, it'll will do all right, because of course people who respond are a small subset of the total. And then I'll just be like, you know what, I suck at swimming, I finally conquered my fear of swimming, this is a recent example. I'm just going to write about how I figured out how to swim, like actual long distance after being fearful of it for 31 years. And then that just took off. And to really write about what you're passionate about and don't really depend on polling readers for what they want to read, because most of the time they don't know. And just like I wouldn't really know until I find something.
So I want to